Yeah, none of that going to be going on here for the energy side of things.
Yeah, which sometimes gets a little spooky. What I do like about the anchored sentinel, or even like say the killjoy in this map, is you don't always have to force your wall into tube, right? You can place some utility there just to get information if anybody does push up into that kitchen area. So that is kind of cool to see. So the inverse for NRG is actually going to be that double initiator and bringing in that sky for Psalm. So Bior on the killjoy, Psalm on the sky. We'll have to take a peek how those two players get it done. As an early drone, going to get some information towards A, but will... Oh, okay. The rest of the squad actually bringing up the rear on a nice flank. Dap's going to spot out 3 and just try and get out of dodge. Needs to go. The snake bite. Try and buy some space and some time, and he does just that. Although on the site, Bjor still holding things down in heaven.
That's just, you know, doing a pretty good job being annoying and actually might be able to flank the flank at some point. But as I say that, BBG is making some real progress on the site. Daps has kind of just been rendered obsolete over here as everyone's just getting torn apart on the site. Daps is trying to set up a fight here to try to get them off that spike defuse. I mean, everyone's just getting torn apart right now, so it really hasn't amounted to much. Such a clean retake from PPG. I mean, holy cow. Couldn't have gone better, really.
All right, this is going to get
confusing.
Interesting. Yes, with the so I need to see another. I don't think I've seen a Viper v Viper matchup like this. So I'm gonna have to take a look and see if those poison clouds have that same effect that the like the Omen dark cover, like the attacking side has a little bit of red on it, and
right.
The defense
they do,
just be that
but
green.
On the mini map they look identical. So that's the only thing.
So I was thinking, wow, Viper's way too strong. Daps died and the poison cloud is still up. What is that until it runs out of? But no, that's not that. I think it lasts for like 2 seconds after the death. This poaches smoke.
Yes, you are correct, sir.
That nice little crisscross here. Oh, they all push on through, and there's the immediate damage and immediate payoff. As the Boombot looks to get something done. Tech's able to trade 1 kill back, but it's a 2-for-1 overall, and the heal forced to be used on the Sage herself. Just pistols, quite possibly 1 weapon be picked up. Nope, nothing to be picked up there, unfortunately, for NRG, as this Marshall holds it down. Rarkar with the angle, and the drone going to spot everybody trying to find their way out here for NRG.
How's this drone still alive, bro? It was getting shot at, and it was just sitting there just chilling. But finally is gone, but it did its job. It found all 3 players out over towards Lombi. They're making sure that no one's falling back. They are going to have Bior kind of covering the middle to make sure that there's no shenanigans going on here. It is indeed going to be that commitment eventually here on B site from NRG with, I mean, really nothing to work with. And actually now they actually decided to send the spike back with a couple players. They're going to leave Daps behind. Still just trying to, you know, keep those toxins in play, keep the opposition guessing a little bit. The thing is, Bior's utility is still well set up to deal with a site, and he's, you know, in middle, so he's still there to keep it engaged. So it's not like this is going to sneak in or anything like that.
Swarm grenade killed my bot.
As much as they liked to think they were being sneaky, obviously had to have known that the Killjoy would still be set up somewhere as that spike finds its way onto the ground. Now, in a terrible spot is Daps, because they're about to lose the round, and he needs to die here. And he does do just that, so that way he's not getting the poor credits.
Honestly, if I was critical, I would have just been like, "You're gonna wait a second there, buddy, before you die."
That's what I was thinking too. Just let him live there at the end and just run from him.
Yeah. Oh well, doesn't really matter. Not that big of a deal. We are gonna see the full buy from NRG, the bonus, of course, from BBG. Spectres aplenty, Sheriff for Rarkar. Maybe looking to get a little operator action going as soon as he can defensively. Wouldn't be surprised. Definitely a lot of great angles an op can be used for on this map. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I was wondering if we're going to continue to see the aggressive approach, which we do see just that out towards B long, just because you push through the Viper wall here, you take that immediate damage. Speaking of, Rarkar in a fall early in this one, and yeah, just trying to get over the toxic screen, but sniffed out.
Yep.
And, well, Tech's right back to work. Find Will as well.
I mean, you can understand it, right? You're using Spectres. You're going to try to force the play up close to get their maximum value. So trying to do something a little bit gimmicky around that Viper wall just didn't quite pan out. Now Bior's going hunting on the opposite side. Gets caught by Android, so Pretty easy day at the office here for NRG on their opening bye against the bonus of BBG. Looks like they should be walking away with this one. Only 2 less standing right now for BBG. 1 getting caught right there under the 2. That was awkward for a second there.
Yeah, Critical is able to find one, though. Takes too much damage, so can't win out the next fight. And Psalm somehow walks away. The flash from the guiding light keeps him up. But the first rifle, like you said, it goes the way of NRG. And you saw what BBG was trying to do. You saw the wheels were turning. Now we find ourselves, just as you said, Dust, with an operator in the hands of Rarkar and the first full buy from BBG.
Indeed, the first real test now coming for both these squads. This will be on equal footing when it comes to firepower. It's that classic 1-2 start you often see with the economy the way that it is, as we do see. Oh, that was pretty spicy. I like that. Later, Poach. Get absolutely bodied.
When Dap's playing inside, unfortunately not going to find that kill, so it's even across the board. Both Vipers now taken down, which means your smokes are off the board as the controllers have fallen. Poach a bit closer to that Viper's pit. That spike looks to get planted. Op shot from Rarkar out towards Snowman. Gonna pick up Android. The spike did get planted, though, and they're working against the clock as Will find another. Tex gonna push up aggressive after the spike went down, but it leaves it now to the only 2. Both of the initiators still up for NRG, and I believe they're running out of resources. He tries to swing, tries to find something. Psalm, though, on the other hand, picks up 2, but 2 still remaining for BBG as they buy rifles of their own, and they battle back for another round win.
Yeah, so first test of the map being passed with flying colors by BBG. They lose a few players along the way, sure, but they seem to always be in control of that round after losing that initial player with that little tricky wall boost play. When Dats got caught under 2 thereafter, they were able to, again, just kind of stay ahead the whole way through. So, good start here for the BBG squad. Still able to buy back is going to be NRG, though it does mean that Daps will actually have to stick to a Sheriff to drop the weapon to someone else, I believe, on the team. So sacking a little bit there, I guess you could say.
And you definitely don't hate that, right? It forces Daps to play a bit more safe. You're going to get more out of the Viper utility because Daps will actually be alive. Blazer spots out Poach in a rough spot, but there's nothing really to fish him out of here, right? It's the Sky and the Sage who are just utility, and he actually gets so much, picks up 1 kill, now looking for the next, and there it is. Critical to back him up. Tex will fall, Psalm the first to go, and BBG off to a great start here in round number 5.
Yeah, that was a crazy exchange with the wall and the snake bite and the guiding lights and everything in between, but Poach able to navigate that situation perfectly. Got some help there in the end from Critical, and now it's going to be a 3 versus 5 favoring BBG. We do see the lockdown being put into play by BBG here, forcing NRG off-site right now. Poach picking up EU, who backed off towards the attacking spawn, and oh my. Well, that's a real feels bad.
Yeah, yes. Yes, it is. And that was a round that NRG kind of forced a buy out of it, right?
Yes.
4 rifles and a Sheriff.
Absolutely. Now, coming into this, they do have all of their alts, and they still do have some money available. So there are some options, I suppose, but they got crushed that round. Those Bears look like they're up to something mischievous.
And what do they got behind those doors? So this
Ice.
is what we can expect on the new Valorant map, except with crabs.
Yes. Maybe new animals will enter the fold, like some gulls. Gotta watch out for those gulls, man. Or Canadian geese, bro. Canadian geese is definitely the ones you gotta watch out for. They are something.
Are they more aggressive than regular geese?
Yes. I actually don't know, but yeah, I do know Canadian geese are feisty.
I've got a question about Canadian geese after this round, and once the
I probably will not have an answer for you that's accurate, but we'll give it a shot.
Okay, just as NRG giving it a shot to get onto this site, Viper's Pit gonna be used here. He's gonna push everybody away for now, and this is it's a tough ult to fight inside of, but it's even tougher to fight into it from the outside. They don't want to be pushing on through. Yor has the high ground. As soon as they drop down, they're going to be taking that damage. Spike yet to be planted. Tech's finally going to get that one down. Daps to find the first kill, and this is a very hindered by. Beautiful recon. Both can get the information on the critical, and all of the ults just being chucked at this BBG squad. Will finds himself completely decayed, and he backs up into the snake bite. A thrifty round for NRG, but a costly one in terms of ultimates.
Yes, they did spin 3 of their 5 ults there to make that round work, but hey, why the heck not? If you're behind in firepower, you might as well try to send everything else you got, and they make it work. The Seekers, the Pit, and everything in between. Just making these pistols work, making things awkward on BBG, and just getting such a huge victory. Oh, that 1 HP, bro.
Okay, now quick before we get into this one, is a Canadian goose just a goose from Canada, or is it different like Canadian bacon is ham?
I think it just has like a different color scheme than other geese.
Okay.
And I don't know, there might be some other biological differences, maybe. I don't know. Of all the things I try to study, Canadian geese was not one of those things.
Maybe we get a lesson after this one. And right now we're getting a lesson on Hunter's Fury. Critical, able to find one onto EU. And that's a Hunter's Fury down. That's one of 2 ultimates remaining that NRG are probably looking to throw. Okay, never mind. There's another one popped up. So the resurrection to come through. And in the last 2 rounds, 4 ultimates used. Unfortunately for NRG in this one, not a whole lot gained off the back end of that resurrection just yet.
No, at least it gets their 5th player back in the fight right away, so kind of canceling out the early pick that BBG was able to acquire over on that long B side, which they've been doing such a good job defending that area, by the way. Like, Poach has been an absolute nuisance for NRG to get that map control that they want. They're once again looking to come A in the late to mid round. Bior, though, finding a new spot to hold from. Turret placement. Guiding Light comes in to lead the way. Boombot also. Oh, it catches him. That's so unfortunate, but Will, huge with the rocket there to kind of help things along. And Bior is still alive somehow.
A classic kill on the back end for Bjor to get away. Critical on 11 HP as well. And Tex, I mean, you can really just hope for the best here. Used a resurrection earlier in the round, but 0 return on that investment. Does find one, not able to find the second as that heal came through, and top critical up to 71 health. But more importantly, Dust, the splash damage on the showstopper from Will. Found 2 kills on NRG.
Yeah, that was so huge, man. Especially because BR looked like he was well and truly in a tough spot when that Boombot actually fell right on his lap. But Will kind of bailing him out. Look, I mean, look at that. Just beautiful, beautiful team play to keep him alive. And that poor Sam on the zip line, bro. This wrong place, wrong time. There was nothing Splinter Cell about that, bud. You're in a tough spot there. BBG doing well. Early use of the Viper's Pit to control A side here for BBG.
The Trailblazer is already nearsighted, so to go into the nearsighted Viper's Pit, that stings a little bit. That stings a whole lot more as the Boombot doesn't find too much. Poach to pick one up onto the spike carrier, so now it has since been picked up. It's Android up on pipes, hanging onto that one.
He is playing around this so well.
Yeah,
like the way he picks and chooses when to come in and out has just been masterclass, and that's just the signs of a more experienced Viper player who's kind of tried these things out more.
Ooh, Android snuck up though to A site. He was playing up on top of pipe. Som was there as well. And Poach narrowly missing out on getting spotted. Som gonna get caught with the guiding light in hand, and unfortunately leaves it down to just Daps. Android not good for any more on this A site, and 150 health. Not a whole lot going for him outside of that as he has to work his way through the Viper's Pit. He's got one on the flank, so getting corralled. And that's a very tall ask for Daps there. And you know, I love that
That's
round.
just masterclass work from Poach, dude.
Yes, and it's so funny, right? When you talk about the experience of Poach on the Viper, the beginning of that round started with Daps just running up towards mid and just chucking the poison cloud to cover up that tubes area. And then we get the complete inverse of that. It's Poach playing perfectly around his ultimate, right? Usually you have like some lineups for the poison cloud. No, Daps just walked up and just tossed it and just like, hey, this is good enough for mid.
Yeah, again, just brilliant defense so far here from BBG. They're dictating the pace on both sides of the map, particularly this B side. They've really defended that well. They're kind of forcing NRG to play these faster A plays. Now Rarkar will be here with the operator to change things up a bit. Drone and the Trailblazer trying to pave the way to unlock the site as they try to push in with these pistols. Just limited firepower all around, really. They are causing a bit of a ruckus here. They actually get the entry onto Bjor. Not bad. Can they follow up? It's going to be the next big question.
Spike planted.
And they had the high ground for a moment. Som, unfortunately, getting a little bit of friendly fire on that guiding light. We're going to be creeping around on the back end. Spots out EU. There's actually two right behind it. Poaches here on the flank. So now round into the A side. Is this NRG squad? The Seekers going to get the information that they already had. Unfortunately, not a whole lot more to be found there as the kill start to come on through. All for BBG. Daps with a ghost. Needs to do too much there at the end. The Seeker finally getting a bit of value, but everybody since dead. 3 remain. BBG as they
It's one
find
of
their
those things
7th.
where when you're playing that Sky Sova combination, you have so much information when you combine that drone and that Trailblazer. You can definitely clear a lot of angles and make things a little bit easier on your take. But at the same time, it feels like they've struggled to really implement the Viper utility well. And that was just a Seekers play that just didn't really yield any value, I feel like. That's like another tool, I feel like, to help you take something. You already knew you were being flanked, so I mean,
Yeah.
obviously you're hoping that maybe you can bait out some shots or maybe stun them to try to hold them off, but it just didn't really pan out. So yeah, it just NRG just looked a little bit less of a well-tuned machine compared to BBG on this map right now. And oh my God, he's just done that to him. They got families, Will. Come on, buddy.
Yeah, that is, you know, the kill on the imposter, no less. Android, a very strong driving force for this squad to be taken off immediately. And that play obviously isn't easy, right? You got to get settled in and find those shots. You're able to do that. Just so incredibly proficient.
The balance of BBG to play these like more passive retake setups as well as do these aggressive plays at long B as well as what we've just seen now at A, it's just been such a nice like dynamic defense that I feel like has made it very hard for NRG to settle into the half and realize what makes the most sense. As EU trying to drone back and get some intel here. Spots one player, that was Rarkar with the op, and that's it. 3 players in the area, however, for BBG to defend.
And Will narrowly escapes there as 2 were pushing up. Walks back towards those stairs in that heaven area. Spike planted and Daps still playing out towards mid, making sure nobody gets in for free on the flank. They're all going to be funneled up, and it's 5 members. Here comes Critical. Hunter's Fury. Not going to find anything just yet. It's going to go wide on all 3 shots. Rarkar now looking to play off the resurrection. Brings Bjor back online, but Tex is having himself a round, and he needs to pick up 2 more. 6 kills on the horizon, unfortunately. Going to be sat down. And that is a tough spot to be. Tries to wall himself up, but the snake bite still getting the value. The Hunter's Fury as well. Now it's all up to Critical, but it's not going to be enough. And Rarkar tried to do something crazy. Unfortunately, doesn't go in his favor.
Yeah, that spike plant placement was rough to contend against for BBG, especially with the snake bite already on there as well. The positioning that NRG had, then Tex obviously just tees off for like almost a 7-kill round at that point. I mean, he was really looking to do some damage there. Definitely did get quite a lot out of that. Just shutting down this res value.
Yeah, that's tough. And it was, you know, a lot of times you see Bjor's in a pretty bad spot. So, like, you could bait up. There it is, the wall again. Oh, my goodness, Android. He's feeling some kind of way after getting pushed by Will. He takes not only Will down, but Poach as well.
Uh-oh.
Your battle's backplan on the other side of the tube because of that wall, and things aren't free for NRG just yet.
No, all of a sudden it's back up for debate despite the hot start from Android. That wall boost at long B has been a great weapon of choice. But oh, Critical gets caught there. He got the dart off, but it cost him his life, and there's really not anything that BBG can do off the back of that intel, and they're still very behind. Now the Viper Spit comes out from NRG on site, and yeah, they are just mopping things up on the NRG side of things. This is a little bit of a resurgence now all of a sudden from NRG.
Oh, man. Rarkar in such a bad spot.
What?
Oh, no. NRG in a bad spot as Android Finally makes me eat my words.
That
3
would've been
kills on the
unbearable.
round, and yeah, that was scary for a
Last round
second.
before the switch.
That would have been absolutely wild.
It would have
As we go
been
into the last round of
just
the half.
daps inside the Viper's
Yeah.
pit if he was able to pick up that kill on the Android. That would have, that was almost winnable.
Yeah, that was intriguing. So finally, NRG showing some signs of life, showing that they're not just gonna lay down here.
There.
And we'll see if they can keep it up here to finish this thing off.
7-5, the best they could hope for. And I want to say
Scout destroyed.
maybe BBG, their composition probably does better on defense rather than the attack. As I say that, though, I'm taking a look at that lockdown, which obviously does bode well for the attacking side should they get there. Bjork can obviously use it here in this one on the defense in the retake, and we'll see if that is going to be the case. It's only the showstopper, really, or some insane paint shells from Android that could stop the lockdown.
This spike placement has been so key, I feel like, for NRG. They can play off of that so very well. It's so much harder to get a defuse off from that location. NRG's used that to good effect, but here comes that lockdown again, trying to push NRG off the site, which it will succeed in doing that again, but with the snake bites and other utility that NRG have, it's just so hard to get that spike defuse off. They're gonna go for it here. They probably will at least get half.
And halfway is the case. Snake fights on top. Showstopper's there, and a shot from up top to find a kill onto Bjork. 2 quick ones as Rarkar trades it back. Goes good for 2, but that might be it. Poach on 1 HP. Has to find not only 3 kills, but half a spike defuse, and that's not going to be the case. NRG battle their way back in this one, pick up 5, and will now mount their defense.
Yeah, really good comeback there from NRG to keep it competitive. A couple of big rounds from Android and Tex in particular really helped them get that one back in play. EU's had a bit of a cold start than what I'm used to seeing, but obviously the team in general had a tough one.
Enemy remaining.
Again, BBG jumped off to, I think, a 6-1 lead if I'm not mistaken, but NRG again able to claw their way back in, keep it close. Again, didn't really know what to expect on this map, considering that BBG had not played it since they picked up Poach
Spike planted.
and Rarkar. NRG not many results from their belts, period, since Android and Tex have joined the team. So we're just kind of, it's a learning experience for everyone, I feel like, and we'll have to continue to pay attention.
Yeah, some good data gained here in this one at the very least for anybody else looking to play against these two teams
Here.
on this map. We go right back to work on the pistol. Turk gonna be taken down early. Bjork playing right behind it, just in case anybody heads this way. Ooh, tosses out the guiding light, but doesn't pop it. And well, what do you do when you see a flash? You look away, and Bjork gets backstabbed.
Big opening for NRG. BG still trying to make things work here with the wall and such on the site. They will plant, they will get away back towards Long Bean Yellow Container, but Tex with that wall boost is quick to pose a threat from double stack position. Teammates closing in as well to help them out. They're all basically coming from spawn side. No one flanking towards Long B. So can BBG make their stance? Critical is on that flank, and he catches Tex off guard.
And he's just going to be a thorn here. No, he's not. He peeks out a bit too far and gets caught trying to get that recon bolt for the squad. Will and Poach still holding it down. Snake Bites to buy some time. 8 seconds is how long they'll have to wait before they can step on top of that one. And it's all up to Poach, who has to continue buying that time, pushing on through. Dap's going to get caught out, and that's going to be it. Salm on 2 HP, but has 0 time to take a fight. BBG get it done in the pistol some way, somehow. The clock goes huge, and Salm gives us a little bit on the way out.
regrowth. Yeah, unfortunately, that doesn't work on you, buddy. He knew. That's Poach just playing so smart with that Viper, just timing out the snake bite and the peak perfectly to still get the round despite some of the struggles they faced throughout the round.
Enemy remaining.
Just boldly getting in there on Daps and knowing that he had the clock as his teammate. It's going to make it 8-5 in favor of BBG. Our Penguins prepare for exploration.
Like the little crisscross that we get over towards B with the Viper wall. The what is that? 120-degree angle there. Nice little setup.
Obtuse angle. I don't know. Is that right? Obtuse.
Scanning ahead.
It's the same walls we saw the other way around. I mean,
Yeah.
Just kind of the standard places that you're going to place a Viper wall on this map for both sides of the map.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, the different philosophies, right? Whereas BBG, they just send that one right off the rip. Guiding Light actually flashes a handful of his own teammates, but it doesn't matter. The kills start to flood the feed. NRG, they lose the pistol, but goodness, do they battle back? Poach, again, has to buy so much time, and he does that, but he's got so many members in front of him. And it's an upgraded NRG squad as they picked up a few Spectres. They pick up not only that, but the rounds here and a defuse headed over to Android.
Yeah, this is a big victory from NRG to disrupt things and continue to close the gap on the scoreboard. Such a crazy thrifty round from them. They didn't lose a single player on that somehow. That has got to be a little bit devastating if you're BBG to have that happen to you. Now you're forced to make the call on whether or not you want to force back into this and keep the economic game of chicken going, or whether you want to go ahead and just take a step back and realize that you have to just kind of take your medicine. They do have the lead, so they do have a couple of rounds of cushion. Looks like it will be some Sheros in play for BBG. That's going to be about it. So firepower superiority will reign supreme for NRG.
They're looking to get aggro, though, with these upgraded pistols. That blast pack to get some of that high ground out towards B long. The spike still hanging out behind a few of the teammates. Toxic screen does go up, and actually a call to rotate back. Two hanging out towards mid, though. This could be huge catching the cross.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They could definitely be catching this rotation back. Wall will kind of act as sanctuary as BBG cross back.
Out of charges.
They've left their Sova behind to continue to put presence on B side. See if they can't sneak their way into A, which, I mean, NRG are set up on pretty much a retake A setup, putting a lot of commitment to this mid-aggression. Guiding Light comes a bit too late to catch this, so it looks like there will be a spike plant, but outside of that, not really sure what BBG's chances are going to really be. Would take kind of a miracle to finish this one off.
A Vandal in hand for Android. As he finds the first, chips away at will. He's going to be closed out by Edu. And yeah, if you wanted to get the spike plant, you did just that. But when you're looking at the two players on the site, it's shock darts, it's paint shells to net some kills. Either way, it's flawless for NRG. BBG going to be happy with some extra credits. But NRG closing the gap.
Indeed, they are knocking on the door of a comeback here on Icebox. Definitely have good economic control of the game. Had the Vandals still in play for Android, Spectres for the rest. So kind of like a weirdly placed bonus round for Energy. Not really the way you normally get to it, but they're there nonetheless. BBG going to be on the full buy here. No operator for Rarkar on the attacking side, but that is to be expected. Looks like we are going to see a little bit of a heavier A setup from BBG early on this time around, with Poach being his normal Viper self on B alone.
Android, unfortunately, taking a bit of damage. He is going to be healed up only to 74 HP. Will receive the same treatment.
Oh, wow, look at this. This is a big aggressive move from Energy at middle. 4 players coming through with the Spectres. Not committing yet either, so BR still not 100% sure, but that Nano Swarm could be interesting. They're able to get around that just fine, though, and now they trade some gunfire. BBG coming out on top of that battle so far. A big push through from Sob, but only good for one. BBG staying out in front. Android equalizes with that frag, however. And so it gets a little bit sloppy in middle, leaving us in a mid-round 3 versus 3. Drone being used to clear out to make sure that Energy has fallen back. And now they will gather up together for potentially a B hit here based off of the utility of Poach still in place in that area. But time is starting to run a little bit low, but the defense is kind of spread thin right now, but we are seeing B reinforced as BBG makes their final push.
And you don't have time to go anywhere else, so you have to make this play B, and you don't have a whole lot stopping you from getting pushed or punished while you look to get this spike down. They do have to find the plant, the snake
10
bite.
seconds left.
To buy
Well, that's
some
a big
time
snake bite.
and some space. Maybe another one on top of it. The spray down comes through. They have to pick up the spike. They have to get it down. Now they're running out of time. They need to find the kills. They're not going to be able to do it. What a round for NRG. Played beautifully.
Yeah, really good use of the snake bites to continuously keep stalling out that plant, as well as the spams, doing so much damage. Even Android's ult coming in to pose a threat. And they really just starve BBG of time. With that mid-aggression early disrupting things, forcing them to reconsider their plans, and then when it came to that final commitment, NRG were just again able to be a constant thorn in their side, never allowing them that safe plant that they were hoping for. And now we're on equal numbers here, 8-8. Firepower advantage for NRG, however, coming into this, of course. Just the marshal, really, for Rarkar, trying to see if he can find a pick over here on a side, but being darted away.
I was wondering how long it would take for us to see some of this mid-aggression from the attacking side. Right? We've seen it from the defense a little bit. Obviously, this is like the major flank angle. And they're looking to play that retake.
NRG's constant mid-aggression defensively is something to definitely take a note of, whether it's the committed push or whether it's just being, you know, committing resources there to kind of keep your opponent guessing. So we will see a spike plant come out this time around from BBG, trying to see if they can't come back ahead. Poach grabs a great headshot onto Dats, but immediately swarmed on. And so NRG still have the edge on this retake. Plenty of ult available if they choose to use him. May not be required.
That one stings. Android picking it up. You to find another spike down. Rarkar doesn't have a whole lot going for him. In an awkward buy and eco round, NRG will pick it up near flawlessly and move their way to 9.
Indeed, they will. NRG. This might be their first lead of the game, if I'm not mistaken. But it's come at just the right time, right towards the end, right as they approach the finish line of Icebox. They take that step out in front. BBG, though, with that plant and the save, will now get back onto a full buy, but they're running out of opportunities here. You take a loss here, you might be right back to saving, or at least taking a lower buy than this, and that's where NRG can really start to look to put the finishing touches on this map. So this one's very important to win if you're BBG, to stay in the race, stay neck and neck with NRG, not fall behind economically, as NRG have plenty of reserve credits available if required, and again, they still have 2 ults in play. Meanwhile, the BBG has 4 of their own ults in play, and we'll have to see if they're able to make a use of them. Android getting in that boosted position at Long B quite early on here. Will fall back as he does not feel any presence. In the meantime, BBG looking to knock on the door of this A site. Different use of the Viper wall, though, this time. We'll be placing it to help defend A site.
And he's had a couple different uses. I saw a couple of different over towards B as well, kind of just cutting off both sides of Long B rather than just that early push through. Gonna early pushes. Post trying to creep on up. Psalm's gonna sniff that one out and take him down. And the resurrection comes through, and it's not even as a bait. Somehow it still works. Critical to find that kill to make sure his Sage stays alive. We find ourselves in a 4v4. Spike looks to get planted. Rarkar gets it down, but gets run down and gunned down. Daps to pick that up. Now working against the clock is NRG, but they've got the man advantage. Make it 2 as Android found that one on the flank, and it's all down to Poach, who has the Viper's Pit. The domain expansion to come on through, but a nice little buddy system working out there. EU sits down the Viper, cuts down the pit, and NRG grab double digits.
Indeed, they do, and again, this puts BBG in a really tough spot. Economically, superiority for NRG as they hold on to 3 players, so don't have to rebuy a lot of weaponry. They already had a good amount of cash on most of their players, so they are looking pretty right now with 2 rounds in the lead. We are going to be able to see BBG buy up here, but again, it's going to come down to them scraping the bottom of the barrel to get those weapons out, and Will may have to take a lesser piece of firepower to be able to ensure armor and the like, so this is going to set them back just a bit. As I said, he did just have enough to get that Vandal out, but he only will have the small armor because of it.
And this is really throwing everything at it, right? If it wasn't that last round that put you in a weird spot economically to where you're having to force out for the rest of the game, it surely should be this one here for BBG. They have to get a whole lot. They can't fall victim to this again, I want to say kind of complacency of, or just pushing up and not really peeking the angles, the awkward angles, as there it is again. Android's able to find one in the off angle. Poach there to trade it back, but that's a kill that you wish you didn't let go through.
Yeah, it's actually discovered the spike, so NRG starts to get an idea on what the intentions are of BBG. In the meantime, Daps is soloing out A with this Viper's Pit, but Will and Bjor looking to test that. Looking to maybe try to cause a little bit of a disturbance, a little bit of a rotation to break open this B site a bit more, so Spike is still committed that direction.
Wow.
Daps catching Will, though, and no one's really rotating from NRG. They're holding their ground at middle and B side, so this fake is not really panning out, though it has pulled EU, at least, his attention now on the A site. Lockdown continuing to fake A site, and actually they're looking to bring the spike there now. This lockdown will push NRG off and force them to play retake A, but I mean, there's still a man ahead. They still have a res even, so it's gonna be tough on BBG still. That's a big kill. That helps things along nicely.
You're making it a whole lot easier for BBG as they push on through. Dap still holding it down with the fadeaway headshot. Bjor to fall and Poach and Critical now to hold it down, trying to reclaim something to get back some of this momentum. They have let this game slip through their fingers. A resurrection makes it a whole lot harder. ZU will be back on the board. Push to the toxic screen. Poach finds one. Critical now looking to get a little crazy as the spike's going to be tapped. It's all down now in a 1v1, but Dap holds it down. It was the ult to start, but the rifle to close it out. A 4K on the round and 11 for NRG.
Yeah, Dap's teeing off that round. So well done. That round got closer than I would have expected, though. I thought NRG was going to kind of sweep that one a bit more convincingly, but to BBG's credit, they fought tooth and nail to get that to a 1v1, but Dap's just a little better in that situation. Having a big game at 16 kills even. I mean, just such a good catch from Critical here, but Dap's just nice little jiggle there to keep his team out in front. It's now 11-8, and now look at what BBG has to work with here to save for last round. This is never a spot you want to be in while a team's approaching that point. NRG seemed to have really grasped control of this game.
Pushing through the wall.
Enemy down.
Took a bit of damage.
Oh, wow.
Unfortunately, it's too much now. A couple of kills to come on through. One traded back, so Song will be off the board, but now it's all up to Rarkar. Got all the utility in the world, but only a sheriff to his name and 3 more players to worry about. Android sits him down. NRG pushed to match point. Now BBG, they've done it before. They got to do it again. They have to string 4 in a row here to take us to overtime. If not, NRG claim map 1.
Indeed, Som still has the Seekers, EU still has a Hunter's Fury as well, and Android's only 1 away from a showstopper, so definitely going to have the ult advantage potentially coming into this. It's only Hunter's Fury available for Critical. Rarkar, though, pretty close to a res. Poach not too far off the Viper's Pit. We'll take a kill or orb collection to get there, though. And so this is it. Last chance saloon for BBG here. When it comes to Icebox, Op will be in play this round for Tex defensively, so that might be a little bit of a curveball BBG may not expect. Ooh. A little bit of tag in there from the Hunter's Fury, but not that much value created. But again, this Op is up at long B, and BBG may not expect that.
Guiding light. Getting a bit of information that they're still hanging out towards that spawn, so still options for BBG. Dap plays up close and personal.
Oh,
Just
boy.
long area and could quite possibly find his counterpart in Poach on the Viper, only on 70 HP because of that Hunter's Fury earlier in the round. But the rest of the squad, since trying to take this fight on over towards this A site, it is Daps to take down Poach.
Yep.
Be a 4v3 in this, and I would imagine the rotate just to come all the way on over as that spike creeps on up. There's the barrier orb to block off screens. The drone gonna find the information that Android playing out towards heaven. Hunter's Fury to try and push him away, but not gonna find anything just yet. As Critical goes just a bit too wide, and again, all 3 gonna miss their targets, splitting the uprights there on the last. It's a 5v4 retake here, Dust.
Yeah, looking pretty good. Seekers will come through from NRG to start controlling this side. It is going to take a stun onto Will, pushing him back. And he's also been darted. Guiding Light coming through as well, continuing to push BBG towards the backside of the site. Spike going the way of NRG. No one can even stop them, as you said. Wall up for cover, and that is crazy. We see Spike defusing a 5